Okay, so you went to all the trouble of making natural dyes and you've colored your Easter eggs and they turned out really pretty. But now you have all this extra dye left over. So here's something that you might want to do that could be fun. If you have a pair of white cotton socks or a white t-shirt, cotton t-shirt, you might want to try your hand at natural tie-dyeing. And I have just chosen a piece of white cloth to use, cotton cloth, and I heated it in vinegar water to prep the material. Now, in the last program, I talked about mordants, and a mordant is some kind of a chemical or compound that you would use to treat the fibers of material so that they will accept the dye and hopefully be a little more permanent. In this case, I'm using vinegar. You could, it depends on the type of material you're using, whether it's cotton or linen or wool, whether you would use the vinegar or some kind of a soda or alum. And those different mordants will also give you different colored effects depending on the type of material and the type of natural dyes that you're using. So we have these that are left over, and we're going to experiment a little bit. Now, for anyone who has never done tie-dye, one of the techniques, you could tie knots, or you can take rubber bands and you can tie them around the cloth like so, wrap them around. And that's what we're going to do now. Now, I'm usually the one, when I've worked with kids, I was usually the one who would do the tie-dye projects because I don't mind doing messy things with kids. I think it's good for kids to make messes and know how to clean them up, of course, and to be able to learn new skills. So here we are. I'm wrapping these around like so. And sometimes you might want to turn inside out like so, so that it's like that. So you're working with the inside of the material. So that's what we're going to do right now. And we have our color choices are blueberry, turmeric, beets, red onion skin, yellow onion skin, red cabbage that's been treated with vinegar, and I don't know about the spinach. It may or may not take. Now, what you have to understand about dyeing with natural dyes when you're coloring material or cloth is that the color that you have here isn't necessarily the color that is going to turn out on the cloth. It's with the eggs, it's a little more straightforward. Okay, beet juice is going to be red, but it may not be that way when you do beets on material. So we're going to start here. I'm going to start perhaps with tipping the edges, let's say, into the turmeric, which is a beautiful yellow. Ah, yeah, see? Wonderful. And as always, I kept the paper towel down because we're going to make a mess, and I'm great at making messes. So here we go. We've got some yellow going on. Beautiful. And I'm going to use my tongs actually to kind of squeeze it out because I don't want to have yellow fingers. And it looks like the color is a good strong yellow. Turmeric is wonderful for yellow coloring, and everybody is familiar with turmeric coloring, you just don't know it. That's the color of yellow mustard. That's how they make yellow mustard, is by using turmeric. Okay, so now I'm going to turn this like so, inside out, and let's try something else now. We're going to try some red onion skin. How's that? Beautiful. We're going to put it down in here, and we're going to see if we get any kind of a color effect from using red onion skin. Now, when you're doing natural dyes, there's a number of things in nature. You can use different types of flowers. The calendula or calendula flower is a good one. And privet berries, also false indigo. Now, here's some interesting fun facts about colored dye. The ancients used to have purple dye, and it was very expensive. It was a hard process to make that purple dye. And they used a type of mollusk, which is, it's a shellfish. And it was a process, it was kind of stinky, and they were milking the glands of the mollusk to get the inky purple color out. And the mollusk is a relative of octopi and squids, and they also have ink that they spray out as a defense. So this purple dye was very expensive and very rare to produce, and that's why only very wealthy people like the royalty had anything made out of purple. I understand that Cleopatra's sails on her boat were purple sails. And actually in the Bible, they mention a lady, her name was Lydia, and she was very wealthy because she was a merchant of purple. So that's very interesting how they used to produce purple, the color purple. Now, for the color red, before they had red dye number 40 and whatever, one of the ways that they created the color red was with, now you can just take it like so and dunk it in here. We're going to go with blueberries and see what we get with that. Ooh, yeah, blueberries. The color red actually came from a beetle shell. There's a type of beetle that's in Mexico and Central America that feeds on a particular type of cactus. And this is the cochinella beetle, or the cochina. And even now, this red dye is used in a number of ways to be used in food. When you see carmine as a food ingredient, that's from the shells of this beetle. So very interesting. Look at this. Now we are going to see what happens when we use beet juice. Oh, it looks red. Looks beautiful. We're going to try that. Now, I had talked about before, in the last program, I talked about litmus and using purple or red cabbage as a litmus to test for acidity and alkalinity. There's another plant that is a natural soil litmus or indicator, and that is the hydrangea. And people have seen the blue hydrangeas, the pink hydrangeas. They're actually pretty much the same plant, but when you have an alkaline soil, which is a sweeter soil, it produces more of a pink color in the hydrangeas. And if you want a blue hydrangea, you want a more acidic soil. And that's where you get the blue color from. So hydrangeas are a natural soil indicator. There we go. And what was very interesting, I went with my friend Cindy. We wanted to go for like almost a year. We wanted to go to the DIA when they were bringing back their most iconic painting, which was The Wedding Dance by Peter Bruegel. And they did this amazing exhibit about how they purchased this painting and the process that they went through to restore it. And one of the things they talked about was the different pigments that he used in his pictures. And these pigments, remember, they weren't available in the store in a tube, like you can go to Michael's or one of the art stores, Dick Blick, and just pick them up off the rack. They had to create their own pigments. So one of them was the cochina from Mexico. He actually imported it all the way from Mexico to the Netherlands. And another one was how he produced blue pigment, which was very rare. And that was from the mineral cobalt. So he had to purchase the cobalt. He had to grind it down into a powder, mix it with the oil. So the study of pigments is really an interesting one. Well, we have three different things going on here. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to rinse this in water, cold water, and let's see what we have so far. We've done our blueberry, we've done the beets. This is an incredible study to learn about natural dyes and to be able to produce them. Like I said, they don't always come out the colors that you think they're going to come out. Let's see what we have so far now. I'm going to take the rubber band off of here. And off of here. Or you could do this with, go and pick up a chemical dye at the store, and I think they kind of are pre-mordant that you don't have to do much in the way of material prep. But there we go. Look at that. Is that not cool? And so there you have it. That's another use. Once you've done your eggs, you want to do the eggs first, for health and cleanliness reasons. But once that's done, it might be kind of fun to experiment with those colors to see what you come up with. Now, is there anything else we want to do with this? We might want to take these yellow corners and just do the tips of them in the blue to see if we can produce a green like we did with the eggs. Here we go in the blueberries. And you know that these colors can really stain, especially the turmeric, the beets, and the blueberries. I'm going to hold it in a little while longer and see what we come up with. If we do come up with a green. No, it seems like that was just another. So that's how you learn. You learn by experimenting and playing and having fun. Just make sure that you prepare properly and clean up afterwards. Whatever your faith tradition is, however you celebrate, have a very colorful one And remember, stay safe and healthy and grow where you're planted.